You're listening to a News OK podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the News OK Comics podcast, hosted at Planet46.com. I'm Matt Price. I'm here with Kyle Roberts. Kyle, what's going on this week?
That's right. It is a big week in comics. The Oklahoma History Center has a huge exhibit all about Okie cartoonists.
Excellent.
And Jonah Hex is in theaters.
That's right. Let's start with Jonah Hex, coming out today in the movie theaters. Stars Josh Brolin as the disfigured Old West bounty hunter Jonah Hex, Megan Fox as the Lady of the Evening Lila, who is his love interest, and of course John Malkovich as Hex's enemy, the villainous Quentin Turnbull. What do you think? How do you think this thing's going to do?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It seems a little bit darker than Wild Wild West,
Yeah.
I'd say, but so is the comic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you want to get more background on that Jonah Hex character, there's a new graphic novel from DC Comics. It's called Jonah Hex No Way Back. It's by Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray, who write the regular series Jonah Hex, and it's illustrated by Tony DeZuniga, who drew the first appearances of Jonah Hex. For the first time, Jonah Hex's brother is revealed. Also, if you want to get deeper into it, early issues of Jonah Hex have been collected in Showcase Presents Jonah Hex from DC Comics as well.
Sweet. And meanwhile, the writers of Jonah Hex might possibly, they're kind of in early negotiations to direct the next Ghost Rider movie.
That's right. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
There you go.
Columbia needs to make this movie because if they don't make it by a certain amount of time, the rights will revert to Marvel, who now have their own, they're owned by Disney, so they can obviously make their own movies. So they need to get this made by a certain amount of time. Also, previously, they thought they might not be able to get Nicolas Cage, so they were thinking about going forward with another person, maybe making it the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, or maybe just a younger prequel Johnny Blaze. But now it looks like Nicolas Cage is in negotiations to come back. He always kind of wanted to come back. It was always, I think, a timing issue.
Yeah, and I mean, if Columbia doesn't do this soon, Mickey Mouse might be in it. I mean,
That's right.
Who knows what might happen, so they got to do it.
The writers of Jonah Hex are Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor, and you might know them as the directors of Crank and Crank High Voltage, this sort of action movies came out a few years back. So
Sweet. Now let's go to the Okie cartoonist exhibit.
That's right.
We were there.
We were there for the opening. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
What do you
it's
think?
pretty cool. They have a giant Batman cave deal that's very innovative and
Like the Bat computer, you can type in this stuff, find out about all these Oklahoma cartoonists.
Exactly.
Dick Tracy's police station is there.
Yep.
All kinds of neat stuff.
Chester Gould.
Chester Gould, exactly. So you can check that out through next summer. I think that was a lot of fun. And also, Sterling Gates was there for the opening. I did a little Q&A with him for the fans there, and then he was there at a signing at my store, Speeding Bullet, along with James Robinson, and a ton of people showed up there. James talked a little bit about his final Superman issue, number 700, coming out next week. He said it's a very romantic issue. Lois and Clark fans should enjoy it. He's also got an upcoming Justice League, Justice Society crossover. You can check out a preview of that in the back of DC Legacies that's out this week. So
Sweet.
If you want to check that out, get an idea. I always like the JLA JSA crossovers. You got two super teams, legacy heroes all in one book. Always enjoy those. Looking forward to what James Robinson does with it.
Cool. Let's dig in the review file.
All right, very good.
Let's start with the Heroic Age, and this is the new Avengers. This is the kind of the third relaunch, or the sequence of the relaunch of the
all
new
the
Avengers.
book relaunch. You had Avengers, Secret Avengers.
No, New Avengers.
Now New Avengers.
There we go. What'd you think?
Well, this is by Bendis. It's Stuart Immonen, who's always a good artist. This is Luke Cage's team. He's sort of saying, hey, I'm not ready to just say I'm all buddies with you guys again. I need kind of my own space.
Typical Luke Cage.
So Steve Rogers says, well, pick your team. You've got your own Avengers. You're sort of a branch of the Avengers. So we've got Spider-Man, Iron Fist, The Thing, Wolverine being part of Luke Cage's team. It looks like in this first story arc, they're going to be taking on sort of a mystical threat as, it's got Damian Hellstrom and Doctor Strange and Brother Voodoo are all involved. So looks like they're going to be taking on a mystical threat in the first issue.
Sweet. And then Disney's, this is part of Boom. Is this part of Boom Kids or just
part of Boom Kids, I believe.
And this is Darkwing Duck, one of my favorite cartoons as a kid.
Yeah, let me tell you.
And a comic.
I thought this was great. I loved it. It had some elements of like The Incredibles or Dark Knight Returns, because you've got Darkwing has retired because these crime bots are preventing the city from being overrun by crime, so they don't need Darkwing anymore. So he's taking a step back, and he's kind of a little bit disappointed about that. He just has this office job, and he actually has to work for Megavolt, his former enemy. So, and then you find out some things are happening that may bring Darkwing back to the fore. But This is by Ian Brill. I thought this was great. I had a great time with it. So thanks to Boom Studios for bringing Darkwing Duck back out.
Very cool. And then now, Black Widow #3.
We've been following this. Marjorie Liu, Daniel Acuna. In this issue, she faces off with Elektra, and she's still trying to determine who are these people who are kind of out to get her in another espionage tale. This has been good art throughout and a good story. I enjoyed 1 and 2 more than I enjoyed 3, but sometimes it's just a matter of, by the 3rd issue, you're trying to get your story to where you can conclude it and that sort of things.
Yeah.
So, thought it was good, but maybe also my expectations are a little higher after 1 and 2 have been so good.
Because 1 and 2 are so
yeah, still definitely
fabulous,
worth reading if you're following it. Keep reading it.
Sweet.
And then wrap it up with DC Universe Legacies by Lynn Wayne, Andy Kubert, and Joe Kubert, the artists. Following the Golden Age heroes like Hawkman as they go into the 50s and kind of face the McCarthy hearings and that sort of thing. So still pretty good. Following the DC Universe history, I enjoy that sort of thing quite a bit. So also a backup story with the Seven Soldiers Victory. Thought it was good. If you're a DC history fan, there's a great splash page right there. Then you're probably enjoying the series and you continue to pick it up.
Sweet. What's your favorite?
My pick of the week, I'm going to go with Darkwing Duck, man. I mean, there's some good stuff, and I'm going to say Darkwing Duck is my pick of the week.
I'll go with New Avengers.
All right, very good. So next week, stick around. We'll have more comics and movie news. For Kyle Roberts, I'm Matt Price. Thanks for watching.